Hi, my name is Karen Lyons, and welcome to another edition of chair yoga practice. As a quick little reminder, making sure that you have a chair that preferably has no arms with it, and it's on a very solid, secure surface, and particularly like you don't want a chair with wheels, obviously, but if you're on a rug or make sure it's a non-slip rug, mat or tile, whatever the flooring is, make sure it's very secure for you. Today I think we will be doing some standing positions, some standing postures, and what I'd like to do is focus in on strengthening our legs, increasing our balance and our flexibility. Therefore, we'll be working through the ankle joint and the hamstrings and the thigh and the hip and pretty much all over the body. But again, do what you can do, always, being mindful of your own space, your own place, where you're at in your body, and and where you're at in the moment. Just because maybe you had a pain somewhere yesterday or in the morning or whatnot, it might shift. It might be a little bit different. So always from moment to moment checking in with yourself, and we'll do that in a minute too when we start to ground in. But just a few little more notes before we get started. Today I do have blocks that I'd like to use. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or anything that kind of brings the floor up to you. I also have in my basket blanket, a bolster, and a belt. However, I don't think I'll be using any of this today, but always have it handy because I never really know where I'm going. So anyway, so let's just ground in and just again being mindful of where you're at all times, okay? So place your hands down firmly on the lap and start to lift up. And this is just a practice I've been playing around with this week, so I think it's kind of cool. So just for a moment, close your eyes and find some gentle breath, bringing the breath in through the nose and out through the nose if you can. If you have to breathe out through the mouth, that's fine, perfectly fine. Just start to settle in, ground in, taking note, feeling your sits bones, feeling your alignment, maybe bringing the shoulders up by your ears and rounding them down and away, letting them dip down past, right? And so this is a little exercise that I'd like to do with you this morning, just to kind of give you an idea of that body awareness. So closing your eyes very gently or softening your gaze, I'd like you to keep your hands firm on your lap and then just raise the index fingers. So just going to raise those index fingers with an inhale, and then with the exhale, bring them down. And then again, inhaling just the index fingers and bring them down. And then go to the middle finger. Raise the middle finger. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and soft and gentle, feeling the padding of the finger. Inhale. Keeping all the other fingers down. And exhale. Now try that ring finger. Try keeping all the fingers down and just raising that ring finger. It's a little hard, isn't it? All right, try it again. Raise just the ring finger. Yeah, and come down. Now take it to the pinky. Raise your little fingers with the inhalation. And then with the exhalation, bring it on down. And then inhalation and exhalation, right? And then the thumbs. Raise just the thumbs and come down and raise them up and come down. So it's really interesting that we have the ability to raise our individual fingers except for that ring finger. And this is what I mean about body awareness, just having that curiosity of, well, why is that? Well, I had to look it up myself, and I found out that the reason is because the ring finger shares a tendon in the middle finger. It doesn't have its own tendon like the other fingers. So therefore, when you try to raise it, if you raise the two fingers, it's no problem. Or even with maybe the pinky finger and the ring finger, it's no problem. But I just thought I'd share that with you as a little tidbit as to what I mean by body awareness. Just always having that awareness of how your own body ticks. One day it might be a little bit different, and then the next day it might be totally different from the first. So at any rate, so just sitting up nice and tall, we're going to start now bringing that breath in. Pranayama today is going to be with breath and movement, and we'll start out slow and we'll gradually start to bring more and more movement in. So we're going to start with the hands just down by our side. Start to draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Plant your feet in firmly into the floor and pull that belly button in, and start to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And just go at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling, and start to draw those thumbs back a little bit further. Maybe the wrists go back a little bit further. Take those fingertips, maybe point them down a little bit farther, down towards the floor. Just notice how it feels in the wrist and the elbows, the shoulders, the collarbone, right? Lifting up and exhaling out. There you go. Beautiful. Now, we're going to inhale. We're going to just lift the arms up halfway. Flip the palms and come down, and we're just going to float those hands down. We're going to do that again halfway. Flip and inhale. Flip and exhale. Coming up a little bit higher, flip and inhale, maybe shoulder height. Flip and exhale, gently coming down like you're pushing the air down towards the ground. And then again, inhaling, sweeping up that energy, maybe a little bit higher this time. And then exhale, bringing it down. Now, we're going to start to incorporate the spine, starting with the cervical spine. So now I'm going to inhale and start to bring my gaze up towards my thumbs. Maybe I can get my hands together. And then exhale. As I exhale, the chin begins to start to gently come down towards the chest. And then we'll do that again, flipping, raising the arms up nice and slow with that big, big, big inhalation. And then exhale, beautiful long exhalation, start to tuck the chin in towards the chest. Now I'm about halfway off the chair, so if you're not halfway off the chair, go ahead and scoot yourself down a little bit off the chair, all the way up, and then all the way down. So now when we take this, we're going to take it into more of like a swan dive. So we're going to inhale, the hands are going to come up, still bringing that breath into the body. And then exhale, tuck the chin down as you start to come over the body, over the thighs, and then tuck chin in towards chest as you start to raise it up. Gaze comes up, and then exhale, chin towards chest first, and then start to let that body go right down towards the thighs. And then again, push into the floor with the feet, very important. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. Gaze comes up, and exhaling, coming down, all the way down. Good. Maybe go a little bit lower this time. And then inhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest. as we raise the arms up. This time, just bring the palms right down into your heart space. Beautiful. And then just take a moment here, checking in. Allow yourself to feel how you feel. Take a quick little inventory, scanning through the body. How do you feel after that movement, right? Gauging yourself, right? Maybe set an intention for your day, how you see yourself walking through the rest of the day, right? All right, so that was kind of a little bit of movement in the front side and back side of the body, working the spine very, very gently. And now we'll work through the side body very gently. So I'm going to take my right hand down onto the chair, or you can even bring it on the hip. And I'm going to raise that left arm up, reaching from the armpit. And then dip myself over gently, let my head come up away from the chest as I come up and over to that right with those left fingertips, and then sweep it down, right? And we'll do that 2 more times on the same side, just so that you can kind of be with it, right? And then up and over. I always try to say, you know, 1 time for the body, 1 time for the mind, and the last time is for our souls, right? So here we go. Inhaling, last time up. Maybe you go a little deeper this time. Make sure to keep that left buttock bone down on the chair. We're just really reaching through that rib cage. Beautiful. And then bring it down. Good. And then on the other side, flipping the palm of the hand, warming up that body still. And here's the good place for us to start to have that awareness. How is this side feeling this morning or this afternoon versus the other side, right? Come all the way up and take a dip. There you go. Beautiful. And then back. And one more. Reaching all the way up. And let's take a dip. Keep that chin away from the chest. Try to open up. Beautiful. Great. Awesome. And now we'll take a few cat and cows this morning. So we'll take them seated. So just kind of, again, if you're not halfway off the chair, wiggle yourself off. Hands are going to be on our thigh again, on top of our lap, right? And I'm going to allow my spine to have a little bit of a curvature now in the lower back. Not too much, and then I'm going to tuck and roll back, and again the chin comes back a little bit. The shoulders kind of round in a little bit, not too much, not up by your shoulders. You don't want this action. You just want to kind of round from the shoulder blades, like you're almost like hugging a tree, right? Coming right on in. So we come back, and then we kind of lift up, and the elbows go in towards the rib cage, and then back. So again, we're warming up the spine still. This time, you know, we're really warming up through the thoracic and the lumbar, and of course, a little bit of that cervical as well. Coming up and back. So I'm rolling on my pelvis. Pelvis comes forward. I'm on the front side of my sits bones here. And then as I roll back, I feel the tippity top of my sits bones. And then when I'm back in that cat position, I can feel the back side of the sits bones. So we come up and we roll back. Beautiful. Good. And then sitting up nice and tall here. We'll just do a little bit of movement in the hip. We are going to be working through that hip a little bit. So let's just take a nice little gentle roll with that hip one way. Doesn't have to be really big. Just nice and fluid, right? And again, bring the mind, you know, do you have any clicking going on? Any stuck, stoppage points? Any, like I always call it gunky. You feeling a little gunky, right? And then roll the opposite way and just again, take a note. Does this feel a little different? Right? And there's no judgment. That's one beautiful thing about yoga. There's no judgment at all. You know, wherever you're at is perfect. You know, it's all good. You know, A for effort all the time. Here we go. Come right on up. All right, so now we're going to start. I'm going to lift my left knee up and give it a good little squeeze in, and let's roll that ankle joint around a little bit just to kind of warm up through that ankle. Right, there you go. And then bring it down, and then the other side, just tug it in, roll those ankles around. Oop, I got a little crack. Ooh, pop, pop, pop. It is raining out, so maybe that's it. Bring it down, beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is just raise my right hand and let my left knee, I'm trying to get my left knee up as high as I can. It's like marching, right? And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to raise the other arm up as I raise that knee up. Try to get the knee up as high as you can. Don't lean back. Try to get right on the tip of the edge of that chair so we can do this, right? Back and forth a few times here, right? Good. Then we're going to ramp it up a little bit. We're going to reach out and then kick out and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring it in. Now you have to really hold that belly button in. Protect that lower spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And then back, up, and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, reach and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And bring it down and then tap it out. Good. All right, so we're going to do a couple of postures to prep us for our standing postures. The postures I'm going to try, or we're going to try and do today, or I want to attempt to do, or at least show you, is a lunge position and what we call half moon. It's actually, in Sanskrit, it's called Ardha Chandrasana. And then the other one is going to be a warrior 3 pose, or Virabhadrasana 3. Now these are very, very strong, sturdy poses, standing or seated for that matter. They work the ankle joint, they work the calf muscle, they work the hip flexors. They're very, they're strengthening postures. They create not only strength for the body, but also strength for the mind. So you'll cultivate some confidence in doing these particular postures, and they're really great for balance. So, but we're going to do a little bit of a prep first. So what I want you to do is, if you can, is to shift yourself around to the left, okay? Now I'm going to take my block and I'm going to put my right knee underneath the block, okay? And then I am a little short here, right? So I'm going to take a block and put that on as well, okay? So you have to be the judge to see. This is actually a little too high for me. I'm going to take this block. It's a little smaller. Yeah, that's better. All right. So I'm trying to get this leg in a nice 90-degree angle. So it's like, as you can see, if you line it up with your chair seat, it'll be in that nice 90-degree angle. I got my left cheekbone on the chair, and of course I've always got the chair here for some support. Now, this right hand can hang out right here. All we're going to do right now is just lift the heel and engage the calf muscle, and then bring it down. And then lift, bring it down, lift, bring it down, lift, and bring it down. So you really want to engage that calf muscle coming onto the ball of the foot, right? Now we're going to change the dynamic of it a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my foot back, if you have the ability to do this. If you don't, keep your knee on that block. And I'm going to lean forward a little bit, right? My shoulders are away from my ears, and now I'm going to lift. It's totally putting a little bit more pressure on that front leg, just lifting that calf. Good. There you go. Good. Then we're going to transition into our warrior 2 seated. So how I do that is I'm going to take this right hip, swing it around, right? and then bring my foot right out in front, and I'm in that warrior two, okay? So a little transition, and it takes a little bit to get there. Sometimes if you have a seat that's not cloth, you can swing on it easier. And I'm gonna take my arms out into my warrior two. And here I'm gonna take my angle pose and open up and reach the hands back, okay? Beautiful. And then just coming back, we'll take our feet together, all right? And we'll try those on the other side. So again, always do the best you can. I'm gonna bring my blocks with me. I might not need it this side, but we'll see, right? I'm gonna shift myself over. So my right foot now is on that block, and I shift my knee down onto this block. Now this does depend on the type of chair that you have too. Of course, if you have the chair with arms, this is gonna be a little bit more difficult, if not impossible. I mean, you can still get there, but you won't get the extension, okay? So you maybe just turn and twist with us. So hang on to the back of the chair for a little stability. The other hand can be on your hip. Lift up, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, and be on the ball of that back foot. So we're kind of creating some cellular memory here. We're on the ball of the back foot here, right? And all I'm gonna do is start raising the calf up. 1, 2, squeeze that calf together. Really squeeze it up, working through the front of the ankle, right? There you go. Good. Now I'm gonna bring the weight onto the back foot on that left foot. Slide it out if you can, but if you can't quite get this extension, no worries, just keep your knee down on the block, right? Then I'm gonna push in, right, using my back leg to push, see, like a lever almost, pushing my hips forward. I'm gonna lean forward, maybe rest on the thigh, and then pull it up again. It's gonna intensify that little calf stretch. Now I'm putting a little bit of weight on there, right? But it's opening up the back of that hamstring on that left leg. There we go. And then coming up, right? Leave the leg where it is. Just use yourself to shift over, finding your way into that Virabhadrasana 2 on this side. And again, we'll reach the arms out, look over this time the right? Gazing, lifting, creating some space and some stability, and then taking it into that beautiful angle pose as we reach up and over. Really reach from the armpit, let yourself look up towards the ceiling, right? And then coming back up to center, beautiful. And bring your feet together, right? And then take a nice inhale up, little recovery breath, and exhale. All right. So the next couple of postures we're gonna do, I'm gonna show them to you individually, and then I'm gonna try and flow them together. So it's gonna be like connecting the dots. If in fact they are challenging, if they look a little bit too challenging for you, then by all means just do what we just did, or just watch the video for a while and then maybe attempt it again at a later date. But let me walk through. The first one, we'll go over to the right side of the chair. So I'm gonna stand up on the right, and the first one we're gonna do is we're gonna do a lunge. So I always like to start my postures, my standing postures, in what we call mountain pose. So just bringing your feet together and the mounds of the feet together, and cultivating that, that strength, that stillness within, right? Pull the belly button in, take the shoulders up and around, and let those fingers drop. Okay, good. Couple of nice cleansing breaths here. All right, So now what we're going to do is the lunge first. So I'm going to take my left foot, I'm going to dial it underneath the chair, and then step the other foot out a little bit, okay? Now it's almost like triangle pose, and I think we've done that before too. So, you know, it's going to be almost like you're going into triangle, but we're not, okay? What I want you to do is just kind of play with your knees a little bit, maybe bend them a little bit, get them a little bit supple, right? A little bit spongy, right? Then what you're going to do is start to bend this left knee, but as you do that, you're coming onto that ball of that foot. So you're going to hold on to the chair probably, come onto the ball of the foot, and then you pivot the foot around, okay? And then just like we did on the chair, you're going to slide that foot out a little bit and sink your hip flexor down. All right, now this front foot becomes very, very strong and sturdy. You've got the chair right here to hold on to, right? You can even bring it a little bit lower by bringing the hands onto the chair, sliding that leg out, all right? Now it depends on your flexibility and the strength of your legs as to where you can go and how deep you can go. So you do you. So maybe, you know, maybe you're just up like this. This is fine. Get that heel up off the floor, right? Lifting up, bringing your chest back. You're still cultivating that strength and stability in your legs, okay? All right, so then we're gonna come out of that and bring the feet together, all right? Shake it out. We'll try the other, we'll do the other side in a moment. We're going to try the other postures. So the next one is challenging. It's called Ardha Chandrasana. And this is, again, we're going to start off like we just did. Foot is underneath. We're going to step that other foot out. Find that bounciness in the knees. Now here, you might want to bring your block up onto the chair seat, depending upon, because your hand's going to go on either the block or the back of the chair. You might want to start at the back of the chair. What I'm going to do is come up on the ball of that foot again, right? But this time it's like a bungee cord. You bungee cord yourself up, right? And you bring your hand down onto the chair, right? And it becomes a balancing act. I'm actually a little bit closer to the chair, so here I go. So I'm going to take my block, take my hand maybe here. I'm going to lift up, right? And then I'm going to bring my hand down onto the block and my hips come forward, okay? Your other hand can stay on your hip, all right? Or if you'd like, you can raise it up, okay? So that's Ardha Chandrasana, all right? The legs should be up a little higher, but that's okay. Okay. And then shake it out. And now the third one is Virabhadrasana 3, which is really good for our heart. It gets our heart pumping a little bit, so a little cardiovascular work here. So be mindful of that as well. I'm going to start again. My toe is pointing towards the chair. I'm going to tip over again, right, onto that ball of that foot. And then this time we're going to hinge the whole torso forward and find our leg lifts, and we're going to drop that hip down. Hands come onto the chair, right? And you're looking down, okay? Beautiful. And then the hand comes back in and we're going to roll it up. All right? All right, so we'll try that on the other side. So I'm just going to move now over to the other side. I'll just move this basket out of the way. All right. So here we go. So the first one is that lunge. So we dial the foot in, right? Knees can kind of become a little bit soft. Then you come onto the ball of this right foot. Dial your hips so now that you're looking over the chair, okay? Then you're going to bend that front knee down towards the chair as you slide the leg out. And again, depending upon your flexibility and your hip flexors, it depends on how long you can go. You might be able to get way down, which is great. Just make sure you stay nice and strong in this front knee. And you don't want the knee over your toe. You always see your big toe when you do this. Or maybe it's a little higher, and if it's a little higher, use the chair to help lift the sternum up, right? And again, we're really, really creating a lot of strength in our legs with this. All right, so that's the lunge. We come up and we want to find that Ardha Chandrasana now, that half moon. So again, starting here, take a breath, dial the foot in, step out, right? Okay, and then again, kind of think of yourself as a bungee cord, right? And you're gonna bungee up and up, right? And then find the block that's suitable for you, right? Maybe you hold on to the back of the chair and open up, and then that leg comes out. I'm gonna bring my hand right down onto the chair seat and then raise my arm up and the leg comes up. Ardha Chandrasana. Right. And then come down, right, and up. Beautiful. And then the third one is that Warrior 3. Same thing, turn towards the chair, right? Come on the ball of that back foot. Soften your knees a little. Now this one, we want to keep the knees straight though, right? So we're just going to bungee cord up, bring the torso over the chair, and then the hip wants to come like almost like Ardha Chandrasana, like that half moon. But on this one, what we're trying to do is square our hips. So you want to draw that knee in, right, and that leg up, and then hold yourself here, and you probably start to feel your heart start to beat a little bit. Take a few rounds of breath here, all right, and then come up. So those are challenging, I know. So we're gonna try now, I'll stay on this side, and then we'll do the other side. We're gonna try and connect the dots and what we call a flow, and bring those 3 postures together, okay? So, again, you just practice them one at a time individually, or come and join me and do this flow. So, here we go. I'm gonna inhale, my hands are gonna come up, and exhale down. Stepping the foot out, and then finding that nice lunge. From the lunge, I come up, I find the Ardha Chandrasana. From the Ardha Chandrasana, I flip down and I find the warrior. Step back, come back into lunge. Okay? Slide up, and we'll try the other side, all right? So here we go, take a nice breath in, just as a little recovery breath. Regroup, exhale down, stepping that leg in, dialing around, sliding out. Right. Take it as low as you'd like to go. And then from here, it's bungee cord up. Find the Ardha Chandrasana. There we go. And then into Warrior 3. Back into that lunge by stepping the leg back, lifting up, and then sliding that foot in and coming to the center. Beautiful. Take a nice inhale up and exhale. All right, we'll take a seat. So again, those can be a little on the challenging side, especially if you've never seen them before or done anything like that before. So take your time with them. It's all good. Maybe look at the video for a little bit and decide whether or not you even want to try and do them, right? So, all right, so here we go. We're just going to kind of bring that body, that temp down and that heart rate down a little bit. So we'll just start to take some more nice deep breaths in, and we're going to inhale, the arms are going to come up, and exhale, the arms are going to come down. And let's take the left leg over the right, just cross it over, and I'm sliding off the chair again. And I'm going to hold on to my kneecaps today, and actually let's see if we can't grab the other shin instead. So lifting up, I'm hinging forward. I'm going to let my hands slide down so that I'm hinging now around that right leg. Pulling on the right leg to help get my shoulders away from my ears. right? And then the crown of the head comes right on out directly. So I'm looking at the floor, softening through my belly, starting to bring my breath down, inhaling and exhaling. Here we go. And then slide those hands up a little bit, and we'll inhale, raise the arm up and take a twist. So take that right hand on the outside edge of the left, and then that other hand's gonna go over somewhere on the right maybe, lifting up and twisting, breathing here. Coming back to center, right? And then taking that knee in again and giving it another good little squeeze. And dropping it down, all right? We'll try that on the other side. So draw that knee in, cross it over, and lift up. And then just go ahead and slide your hands down on the shin of the left leg this time. And as you do that, you can pull on that left leg, right? Shoulders away from the ears. And you're breathing, right? Softening on your bellies. Just allow to get that nice length in the back side of the body. Good. And then coming up nice and slow and gentle. We'll take the twist on this side, so just taking the hand on that outside edge of the right, rolling and twisting over. Nice long twist. Keep that spine nice and long so you can get the twist in. Breathing. And then coming back to center. Right? And then uncrossing. And then you're going to sit back in your chair today, and I offer you to bring the block on the back of the chair, maybe like so, up like this, so that we can sit right back, and then slide the block up, depending upon the kind of chair you have too. You might have to play around with the block, but I've got the block now up like my mid-back, okay? And then I'm going to take my shoulders up and around and draw them down, and like maybe even hold on to the back side of the chair leg or the back, and just kind of opening. I'm trying to open up through my collarbone, so just let that broaden. Keep pressing into that back of that block, almost like, you know, when we're sitting in our car. We have those beautiful headrests, but how often do we use them, right? Very rarely. So what I want you to do this morning is just try to drive that head back a little bit so that it's like you're trying to reach for the headrest on the car, right? Or in the car. And then bring those hands back, palms facing upward. Right? And then just find, this might feel very strange and awkward, but you're really opening up through the chest area and the heart area. And then begin to bring that breath in. Good. There you go. Now keep that upper body right where it is, right? And then take your hands and interlace them and press them on out. And then reach up all the way. Get that nice length. Big breath in, big breath out. Exhale the hands down, interlace the opposite way. We'll do it the other way. And reach out and lift up. And again, just notice. And then sweep those hands down. And we'll take some breath again, 3 rounds of breath to end the practice today. And what I'd like us to do is think about, as you inhale love, reaching those arms way up. And exhale out light. And then inhale hope. And exhale joy. And inhale happiness. And exhale peace. There you go. And then next time, as you inhale those hands, bring the palms together, reaching them up over your head and drawing it right down into your heart space. And once again, bowing in gratitude to yourself. And then perhaps maybe sending a blessing off to somebody that you know that could use a little extra hug. Remembering your intention. And I remind you that the love and the light that you continue to shine upon myself is the same love and light that I shine on you. Raising our thumbs to our third eye, we bow at each other as we say, Namaste. Thank you all.